Okay, so the show will go on. And the next part of the show is always our random questions. And with our random questions and our audience expanding, I'm going to say it right now. I hope you're ready, Clint. I hope you're ready, Katie, because I'm tired of always coming up with the questions, okay? I'm tired. So it's time for you, the co host, and our audience to come up with the questions. If our audience and our co-hosts can come up with the questions, I think that's going to make things a lot more interesting. So our audience can email us at TheClintPodcast@gmail.com. And our co-hosts, they know how to get in contact with me, so they can just reach out and let me know a random question that they would like to ask this week. And we already have a visitor today with us, Alpha Romeo, aka Shy Girl. Good afternoon, Clint and friends.
Hey.
So yes, we do have our regulars watching, and Jasmine dropped off, but I'm pretty sure she'll be back. But the show must go on. So our random question is: I always have two. The first one is, and Shy Girl, you can answer this question as well. What do you think that we can do to offer more value to our audience? I already know what I think that is, but I wanted to ask our audience, and I wanted to ask you, my co-host, what do you think we can do to offer more value on this podcast to our audience? That's my first question. The second question is, have you ever had something happen or you've done something in life and then you said, whew, well, that's the last time I'll do that. So that is my two random questions, and you guys get to choose from those two random questions. So who would like to go first with their answer?
Clint just was I
Clint, you want me to go first? I
I didn't
can't go
say anything.
first.
I just look on. Yeah.
oh my god.
Would you like to take center stage, or did you want me to answer, Katie?
I mean I can answer both of them if you want.
Well, okay, go for it. School
Uh,
us on how we can make the show better.
I think just us continuing to be like consistent with uploading content all the time and more daily shorts, and then being more interactive with the comments like you are, and also maybe some recognition, like if the top fans that is consistently on every time watching us, let them know that we do see them and we appreciate them being so consistent. And um something that I would never do again. um Yeah, I don't. For personal, I think something that I would never do again is the Brazilian wax. That my soul left my body a little bit when
Whoa.
I could not. I was like, no, I'll just stick to shaving. There's shaving cream, all kinds of stuff, but Brazilian wax, yeah, I don't know about that. Nothing.
Well, that was definitely a Spanish moment. Brazilian wax. Wow. So, Clint, are you ready to talk about your Brazilian wax, or you want to talk about how you can
I
make the
I
show better?
born naturally wax. You see, Miss Whole Body is wax naturally born that way. I don't need it.
The amazing hairless Clint, huh?
I'm totally hairless, so never have a
So, which
problem with
question would you
hair.
like to
So
answer today?
okay, something that I'll never do again. I'll answer that one first. Is ignoring my inner voice,
Ah,
ignoring it, because let's say for example, sometimes like I have like a sort of like a sixth sense that sometimes I could read people, and I could, then my inner voice will tell me that is the type of person you don't trust them, be careful, be aware. We more call it a spirit of discernment. So many times I will like ignore it and say, no, I'm gonna give the person the benefit of a doubt. I'm gonna give them a benefit of maybe it's just me, I'm judging the person. And I'm gonna ignore my inner voice and I'm gonna get close to that person, try to be their friend and try not to judge them too quickly. And in the end, that person ended up backstabbing me, turned out to be everything what my inner voice told me that they were. And
Mm.
so I always listen to my inner voice, inner self. Try not to ignore it, and that's something I stop doubting myself. That don't get too close and too attached to people that early. So that is something that I would never do again. I learned that
Mm.
the hard way many times, many times. And what was the other question again?
What can we do, Clint, to make the show better? I know the Trinidad Takeover is a runaway hit, and every time we show it, it makes the show better. But what else can we do to make the show better, Clint?
Get strippers.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You know
uh,
what, Clint? You know what, Clint? For a second there, I thought you could say that the way we can make the show better was to immediately put poolside conversations into production.
on on a serious note, yes. What could make the show even more interested to take it to a higher level? We could have like more interesting clips like the poolside conversation. We could do that. Short clips, short skits. We could interview that within the segment of the show because I realize, as you said before, people really taking in to because I read the comments, I read the feedback, I get feedback from people concerning the Trinidad takeover and all that, and I don't want to take over the show. I would like everyone to get the opportunity to shine and so on to showcase their talents. So I think in a way that we could showcase our talents more, we could come up together, do little individual short skits like poolside conversation. We could do that with a start. Start with
Yeah,
that.
and now that we have our own space, I was telling Katie earlier, Clint, that I already have the computer and camera, 4K camera and lighting and everything ready for our new space. So we will actually be able to do our weekly podcast in our own space.
Nice.
And one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to, our new space has props, and we get access to all of those props by being a tenant in the building with props. Metropolis, they do art direction, props, set decoration, art, all kinds of decor. So I want to give them a shout out because without them, we would not have our space that we're going to have where we will be able to do our show live and in person versus just being live.
yeah.
So now what I wanted to do was, did you guys have anything to add to that? Or no, I guess not. So just going